see me rolling, they hating, patrolling.
Hey guys, if you're new to the channel, my name is Milan, and I have a disease called Duchenne Muscular Dystrophy, which severely weakens the use of my arms, so I can't really move them all that well at all. So, as you can imagine, that makes using cell phones quite difficult. But there are options to make using phones easier for people in my situation or with other disabilities. So, I think it's been about a year or so, for a little less than that. But in Apple's newest iOS update, they released what is called voice control. Voice control allows the use of your phone with voice commands, which, as you can imagine, could be very useful. And then they also added the ability for you to use a mouse with your phone. Ideally a Bluetooth mouse, because that works the best in my opinion. Now, this is already allowed on Android, but Apple finally decided to bring that into iPhones. And it also works on iPad too. Also, some wheelchairs allow the use of your joystick as a Bluetooth mouse. My wheelchair made from Permobil has that ability. I'm making this video to show like a quick rundown of how voice control works and how the mouse works, because I haven't really seen any videos out there coming from the perspective of someone like actually uses these things on a daily basis. I'm not gonna ramble too much because most of you probably just want to see like how it works and stuff. So I'm gonna show you how I use it on my phone. Now, you're gonna see me using the mouse right now, so bear with me, I'll get to that. First, I'm gonna explain how the voice control works. You should be able to see my phone on the screen right now. So in order to turn on voice control, you go to settings, and you go down to accessibility, and then you find where it's physical, under physical and motor. You tap voice control, and you turn it on. You can't see because my screen's recording, but see where the microphone symbol up here? It would normally be blue. As you can see, it's on right now. So I'll show you some basics of what you do. So like, go home, open notes, and then I can just click in and type too. So it's tap 4. Hey, how are you? Question mark. Next line. Tap 4. Go home. Swipe left. Swipe right. Open camera. Tap 9. Show grid. 30. Tap 9. Go home. Go to sleep. So there are a large variety of commands that some of them I still don't memorize. I will leave a link to different commands in the description if you guys want to check it out. So say for example, you want to turn it off for a second. All you would do is say go to sleep, and it'll stop listening until you say wake up. Wake up. As you can see right here, it turned on. You can also set like to show numbers on the screen. So you can just say tap the number and it will go ahead and tap it. In some apps, it doesn't actually show that, so you have to say show grid. And then it comes up with these numbers. So for example, 1. And then it keeps getting smaller and smaller until you say tap. It's like tap 8. So that's the basics of voice control. So now I'm going to turn off voice control. Tap 2. Now, I use voice control pretty much daily to do certain things, but what I use the most is my mouse. So first I'm going to show you like the regular mouse I use. So turn it on, you go to accessibility. You would go to touch and assistive touch. I already have it on, so you would do this. In order to add your mouse, you go to devices, Bluetooth devices, and mine is already connected. So then depending on how many buttons you have, you can set what you want the mouse to do. I make it do like just simple like Oh, if you do open menu at the main button of the mouse, it taps like you're basically like you're tapping your finger or using your finger. And then you can set different customs to whatever you would like. It takes some experimenting with to get what you want. You can also set it so you don't actually have to click anything. So if I turn 12 on, I can just hold and tap, and it taps by itself. See? I personally don't use that, but it's not for the many people who can't click and things like that. I'll just show you some of the things I do with it. So, this dot comes up. That's typically the dot that comes up when you click assistive touch without a mouse. So it allows me to do pretty much everything I would do with my finger, but using my mouse. Now I'm going to show you how I could add the specific wheelchair I have. So I have a Permobil C500. I don't make it anymore. But it has what's called the RNet mouse module, which actually did not work on iPhone before. It used to work on my computer because it was Bluetooth, but it didn't actually work on that. So now, since mouse control is allowed, it works. On your iPhone, you would go to the same menu as before, click Bluetooth devices. It will call right now, so here's the screen of my chair. So I would go to the menu, and then go down until I see mouse control. You see it here, so it doesn't it automatically shows up right here. RNet Bluetooth mouse module. I had to hold the joystick forward. Until it beeps. That puts it into pairing mode. Now I tap the RNet Bluetooth mouse module. And then it asks for a PIN number. There's really no PIN number, it's a 0. Then you click pair. And it's paired. Now, I'm not using a mouse, I'm using my chair joystick to move this right now. My chair setup is a little bit unique, so I can't really click at the moment. I can click, but I have to attach 2 buttons to the side of my chair where the module is connected. But I don't normally use this, so I don't. But this could be very beneficial to some people. I know many people that do use it. Your chair might work differently with. You have to ask your wheelchair technical help. In my case, like the mouse control was already set up to work, but no one ever turned on the option for me to be able to left click and right click when they gave me my chair. So I went to an Abilities Expo, and they had a Permobil booth there where they helped people change parts and things like that. So I asked them if they could turn it on for me, and they hooked up the programmer and did it for me. And there's also another way to use iPhones called Switch Control, which I used to use for a good year or so before this was available. In order to use that, it's a little bit different, but I have a previous video I'll link that you can check out if you're interested in doing that. Depending on how this video goes, I might make like an in-depth explanation on voice control, doing some more complex things, but let me know if anyone would like to see that. Hopefully I helped some of you guys out there that need help, and if you like this explanation, please subscribe, because I'm always posting about different adaptive devices I use. In fact, one of my next videos is going to be a video about how I video edit with the use of voice commands to help me. I feel like that might help certain people out there too, so stay tuned, guys.